Welcome back to the Block Touch Repair YouTube channel. Today we're going to be finishing with that giant lot of arcade stuff that we bought. And we're going to finish it up, get everything sorted, and hopefully be completely done with it by the end of this video. So, first up, we're actually not going to start with this stuff. We're going to start with these coin boxes. Here is the last things that are in the trailer. Well, mostly. We got a bunch of these bins, we got some speakers, and we got some wooden parts off of, I believe, Wurlitzer jukeboxes for some reason. So let's, I guess we'll start with these bins. So let's pull all these bins out. This one right here is the only interesting coin box. The rest of these are just jukebox and arcade. This one here is a camera chief coin box off a stereoscope. Now I don't see a reason to store these in bins because they're going to take up way too much space and cost way too much in bins. So we're just going to stack them up on this shelf right here. Hopefully they don't fall over. There we go. Absolutely beautifully piled in there. If I ever need one, it's going to cause an avalanche. So hopefully, well, actually, I better need them, but yeah, this might be a problem. Probably shouldn't have stacked them in that tight. This board right here appears to be the back panel board off a Wurlitzer Model 2200. I know that because of obviously that badge. Pretty cool. This board right here is off a Wurlitzer Model P12, that jukebox right there. Now, box 20 is going to be mostly these things here. These different jukebox brands, remote volume control units, stuff like that. And I got a bunch of these things for every brand. So, might actually take more than the space I allotted in this box for them. These two things here appear to be brand new plastics for these Seeburg volume adjustments that have just actually never been used. That's incredible. New old stock plastics. These here are really cool. These just let you mount them in just a normal light socket outlet. That's really cool. I'm not sure what brand they are. They're both say made in Japan on them, so I'm assuming, I have no idea because I don't know what jukebox company was made in Japan. As you can see, we've made a bunch of progress by simply getting rid of the cardboard. Now, there's a few more things we need to take care of. We got all of these little song list holders out of Seeburg wall boxes. I simply just need to take a photo of them and put that on a shelf, because I'm not going to bother putting those in a tote, because they're already in a nice little tote. And then there's a few other miscellaneous things that'll have to go in a tote. I think one more tote should clear out what's in here, and then there's some stuff outside there, so at most 2 more totes, and we should be done. This ball, it's too large to be a ski ball. I'm not sure what it's from. It was painted orange at one point, probably with lead paint. It appears to be wood, but it weighs a lot. Like, that is some solid fucking wood. God damn, you could kill someone with this thing. I don't know why that was the first thing I thought of, but god damn, this thing weighs a lot. This right here is pretty cool. It says Seeburg memory on it. I wasn't sure what it was. Somebody on TikTok mentioned that it might be just like a decorative piece of woven memory as just like a sales flyer token or something for Seeburg. And honestly, I think that's probably accurate. A little iron core or little memory. That's pretty cool. From what I can tell, these were originally used for film development. You could develop a thing of film in that, and then this one would also have a larger one. Not sure what the hell I'll ever use those for, but cool nonetheless. These here are pretty cool. These are your horoscope scrolls for your horoscope machines. Very cool. At this point, I'm not sure what Stoney's gone through and what here is just trash. So I think that's what we're going to have to do next, is just go through here and just clean out the trash and move all of the scrap hardware into one pile. So currently we're sitting at a bin of locks, some switches that are not going to go in long-term, all this stuff's not going to go in long-term tote storage, bunch of light bulbs, some cheesecloth for some reason, a bunch of chips from different, ROM chips from different machines, Mortal Kombat, some Pac-Man, some Galaga I think in there. We have a huge tote of vacuum tubes, a ton of paperwork, and that's everything in this pile right now, but there's a bit, oh yeah, and a bunch of glass pieces, which that's just a small pile of all the glass pieces. This bin here, we're putting all these like resistors, components like that, these transistors, stuff like that. We got some marbles in here, and a few other things, I guess that'll go in there. And there's a bunch of transistors and stuff in here that'll go in here. So basically, we're just going through, sorting out all the stuff that isn't going to go in tote storage because these will go into my electronics part storage. These as well, these little Seeburg semiconductors. The other issue is I'm running into an absolute ton of new old stock capacitors. The issue is these capacitors are 20 to 30 to 40 years old. I'm not going to install a 20 or 30 year old capacitor in something, even if it's never been used. Capacitors can just die by just sitting, so there's a good chance this capacitor's dead. And I don't want to install that in something, even if it isn't bad now, it could be bad like tomorrow. It's not going to be as sturdy as a modern capacitor, unfortunately. Now, I'm sure some people are going to say, well, old capacitors are actually built better. They're stronger than modern capacitors, and maybe you're right. But these ones have already been around for 30 years. Capacitors are unfortunately one of those things that just die sitting on a shelf, specifically electrolytic capacitors. They dry out and then they fail. It's not something they fail because they were used a whole bunch, they fail because they're just old. they can also fail because they're used a whole bunch. But in this case, a lot of these have probably failed just because they've sat around for so long. I got a few cast metal pieces that are like this, where it's like cracked and bent and all this. How does cast metal even do this? Is this like an alloy issue? Is it like a heat issue? Like, were these jukeboxes that were scrapped like caught in a fire and these just got so hot they started warping and cracking the cast metal? How does this even happen? I genuinely don't know. And with that, we are 100% done. Obviously, we still have records, specialty items, paperwork, glass, and more records and more paperwork. As you can see, everything is finally scanned in. The last totes are done. I'll have to move those up into storage. There is thousands of things here that I never even showed because it's just a boring part. It's just, there's nothing special about it. It's just a part. And I don't even know what half of them are. At some point, I'm going to upload all of the thousands of photos that I've taken to somewhere, and I'll have all the tags that I've put on them. I don't know where I'm going to upload those yet, but I'll figure that out. As you can see, we've got a little bit more work to do, but that's where I'm going to leave it. This is definitely a relatively short video, but it has taken all weekend because, well, again, there is thousands of items that didn't even get shown because they're not notable enough to be shown. But if you need any parts for mostly jukebox, but some arcade parts, definitely let me know. I already had somebody reach out on TikTok asking for a coin door if I had one, which I had multiple of. I haven't actually dealt with shipping that out yet, but eventually I'll get that sold to him, hopefully, and we'll have something at least sold of this stuff. But if you like what you saw, please leave a like and subscribe. Until next time, it's been Blox Retro Repair. Not sure what these pieces of wood actually are, but they make pretty good air conditioning button pushers.